So one of the realities that you put forward is that this revolution, I think, in terms of how we integrate with automation. And
Right.
I'm with you, right? We talk about unplugging when we go on vacation. And, I have my Aura ring and I just got my new upgraded
Good for
Apple Watch
you.
yesterday. So, all this quantification of life is goodness for me. Um, but two of my concerns about this integration with automation, one is over reliance on technology. And a minor example of that would be like today, just internet outages, right? How impactful that is. And then, secondly, concerns about privacy. So, how do you address those as we become more and more integrated in the future?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you're concerned because that keeps you aware. And, I think if you look back to the last, from the internet when it first became publicly available in 1991, and you look at that, smartphones, everything else, we've been a bit naive in how quick we adopted automation without saying, okay, what could come with this I don't like? And
Hmm.
there will always be something that comes with it, always. Because as I explain in the book, adversity and resistance with every advancement automatically comes adversity
Yeah.
and resistance. And the
Yeah.
purpose of that is it's a quality control system for nature. It says, hey, you didn't quite get it right. Go fix it before you go ahead. So, and that's a good thing. But I'm glad you pay attention to it. And I hope everybody will be more careful going forward. On security, and I'll put one caveat to this, and that's quantum computers. I think if you talk to people about Web3 design right
Hmm.
now, what people are thinking about with blockchain, but even more advanced than blockchain serverless computing,
Hmm.
distributed computing, people are starting to figure out how we build a much more secure environment. And then the other is us owning the data. We make an
Yes.
most people unconscious deal with the Googles and the Facebook of the world. Oh, it's free. Okay, boom. We quit thinking at that point. We didn't stop to say, what does that contract say? That contract says I can have my data used any way I want it. They want to use it. I don't think we'd make the same deal today.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the kind of wiser approach to automation in the future, particularly as it becomes more seamless. You really have to think through now exactly what am I signing up for here and exactly what is the deal. And so I think those are super
Sure.
important. And I
Yeah.
think that on plugging, what I like to think about, even when the ultimate that I talk about in the book, which is, according to Ray Kurzweil and a lot of other very smart people, it's coming in probably the next 10 to 15 years, where we'll be able to basically connect our brain to the cloud. And it's a good way to think about it. And it's essentially, if you go back to the time I was in computing or when you were first around it, one thing that hasn't changed, we have the most powerful computer in the world between our ears. People, scientists even yet don't understand its capacity and how it works. And on the other side, through, certainly Web3 and through the cloud, we basically have almost virtually unlimited computing power on the other side. So
Yeah.
here's these two powerful brains. And the way we still are connected, and it hadn't changed since I became an IT guy in 1964, is keyboard and a screen.
Yeah.
We still have to use it. So it's how fast can I type and how fast can I read a screen? And that's kind of crazy in a way. It's kind
Yeah.
of a barrier. You go, wow. And that barrier also causes exclusion and particularly in undeveloped countries, less developed countries, to the very power of these computers. So that's going to move away, and at some point we will be able to have some device. I don't think any of us are going to sign on to have a chip put in our head, but we're going to have some way, some device, maybe an earpiece behind our ear, very similar to what we can do with a smartphone, but now it's thought activated
Yeah.
or voice activated. So the real thing there is when we start to do that, you need to think, do I have an off button? Do I have a mute button? Can I control this two-way relationship? and really be thoughtful about it. I think hopefully people will be, because it frightens them a little. So,
Mm,
but hopefully we'll do that, and designers will give us those
of course,
capabilities.
it'll be the age of user interface, right? It's the
Exactly.
UIX
That's
age. So
that's
that's
a
great.
game changer. I mean, if you just
Yeah,
start pondering it, that's a game changer for
yeah,
humanity.
terrific.